What's up amigos? Today I'm going to show you how I shot and edited this photo in Adobe Photoshop. So if you've been following along, last week we've edited a few shots with the polarizing filter, and we're still going to do so with this shot. However, the only difference in this is I took multiple shots and I actually strobed the car. So if you have a look at this, we had a strobe, which is the Profoto B1. I think it was with the it had the zoom reflector on as a modifier, and we strobed the car just from the top to illuminate the front of the car. And we took few shots, so I'm going to actually merge or blend multiple shots, actually 1, 2, and 3 in Adobe Photoshop. Now there are a few challenges. The color of the car where it's strobed is different with the one with the direct sunlight, and that is because, you know, it's different light source, and we had the polarizing filter also sort of changes the color of the car. So we're going to deal with that in Photoshop. So let's get started and actually open those 3 as layers in Adobe Photoshop. Okay, so now that the files are open, what we're going to do is just arrange them, and I think there is a bit of alignment issue. So I'm going to select them all, and I'm going to edit auto align layers, and I'm just going to use the auto and see how that works. Alright, so let's have a look. Yeah, that looks good. That one too. So that worked perfectly. Great. So what are we going to do? Let's start with the base exposure. What I'm going to do is start brushing in the details from this layer. So let's just add a mask and invert it. Get a brush, put the flow down. I would say let's start with about 12%. I like, you know, to do things gradually. Make sure it's a very soft brush, and make sure the color is actually white. And now we're brushing in the details. Again, I've said that a lot. With certain shots you need to use the pen tool. However, just for the sake of speed and laziness, I'm just going to do it roughly. Alright, let's increase it on the flow a bit, 50%. Alright, looks like I'm going to use the pen tool just for this area over here, because otherwise it wouldn't look good. Well, let me just like brush in more, and then we're going to use the pen tool to fine tune the selection. So press P for the pen tool, and I'm going to Alright, so now we're going to make a selection, and okay, brush, white, and we're just going to brush in the details. Now we're going to select and invert the selection. There it is. I'm going to select a black brush, and we're going to brush, oops, out the details just around here. Alright, so now we have few problems here. One is the reflection. I just don't like it over here on the headlights. So what I'm going to do, actually it's not that bad. Actually it is. So I'm going to select this layer and I'm going to brush in the details that I would like to have from this layer, which is the headlights down here. And I'm just going to select the white brush and brush in the details like so. I mean, the rest looks okay. I just didn't like it here. Let's see what else. What we're going to do is try and remove this harsh reflection. I'm going to select the stamp tool and I'm going to select for the current layer and going to sample from this area. And start just like brushing in, because this is a very hot spot. And there you go. I might want to continue. Yeah, that looks good. We'll do the same for this over here. And there is a bit of a spill over that we need to take care of on the top. And let's just select brush, and we are brushing away. Let's resample from this area. I just didn't like the sample. Good. Bit of noise here. Let's remove that. And there you go. I mean, it's not 100% perfect. I mean, you can, again, do it all over again and fine-tune it. Let's do that. It's not something that is really visible, but sometimes I'm just picky. That's better. Alright, so now what we're going to do is try and change the color of the base exposure. So the way that I'm going to do this is with the selective color. I'm just going to add a selective color. I'm going to tie it to the layer below it. And since we are at the reds, let's play around with it. Let's start with the blacks. I think it's going to be our major game changer. That's a bit of a match. Let's see the yellows. Put the yellows a bit up. Magenta. No. A bit of magenta as well. And the cyans. I think the cyans are just okay. So let's look at the before and after. Now that looks better. Alright, so now we're going to do the same thing that we've been doing previously, and that is, you know, let me put this in a group, and I'm going to add a dodge and burn layer. Select all, fill with 50% gray, and now you can refer to my previous video to see the dodge and burn or any other videos that I have. I do have 7 videos explaining the workflow in each process. So from dodging, burning, adding contrast, adding smoke, adding sharpness, and so on forth. It's the one with the McLaren. So I'm going to select a brush, put the flow down to about 5 or even less. 3% is good. So I'm going to dodge. You get things easily done with a Wacom tablet. I like this. I mean, when I first got it, it was so hard to get used to. But it's a matter of days, and I was just like rolling with it. So I really recommend you getting a Wacom tablet. There is a color cast over here. You know me, I just don't like color casts a lot. Well, I do. It depends on the color. So I'm going to create a new layer, change its blending mode to color, black brush, put the flow up. What happened here? Okay, the flow up, and let's just brush the wheels off. Now let's put the opacity down to by say about 50-40%. And let's do the ground as well. And my laptop fan just kicked in and it's very annoying. I need to get like a proper desktop iMac maybe or something, because this is just bothering me and it's affecting the way I record the tutorials. Anyway, so we're going to follow again the same steps just to make sure we're consistent with the look. We're going to darken the image a bit. And so what we're going to do is select the curves adjustment layer and then pull down on the midtones, and let's just invert that. Select the brush. Actually, let's not invert that. Select the brush and let's just brush the car out. Again, you could use the pen tool here, but I won't. Alright, so let's add some contrast. I'm going to create a visible stamp visible layer. And I'm going to filter Nick Collection and Color Effects Pro. These are the previous numbers that we've used. So I'm going to keep it as it is. Again, you can follow the other videos to understand what and how and what I'm looking for exactly when I do the... so check out the previous videos. Let's click OK. Alright, so let's dial this a bit down to 60%, and I'm going to create another visible stamp layer and stamp visible layer. Can't remember the name of it. Anyway, now what I'm going to do is add a bit of sharpness, the unsharp mask, and click OK. And I'm going to brush it out of the car selectively. So I'm going to select the brush and black and paint where you would like to remove sharpness from the car. So we're removing that from these areas down here. Shouldn't sharpen these areas. Again, you can sharpen the edges, that's fine. Just these needs to be as smooth as possible. I know I'm doing things roughly. You can do it more precisely. And so last time I showed you how I did the color toning in Adobe Photoshop. And now we're going to do it in Adobe Lightroom. So I'm going to save the file. It's going to take it back to Lightroom, and then we're going to continue from there. Alright, so now that we're in Lightroom, let's do the final touches and adjustment. I'm just going to darken the area just about here. Let me reset this. You can reset by holding Alt and then reset the filter or whatever adjustment that you have. And now I'm going to decrease on the exposure just a bit. And let's just desaturate a bit, add a bit of sharpening, maybe a bit of clarity. And let's just adjust this right here. Good. We can do the same just from up above. Let's see how that looks. And reset this. No. Sorry, buddy. Apologies. All right, let's do the toning quickly. So I'm going just to desaturate the image overall, and I'm going to add it selectively for the reds, orange. Yeah, plays a big role. Aha. All right, so shadows. Let's add a bit of green in the shadows. Green, blue, teal. What we can do is add the highlights back to the yellow, but no. I'm not gonna do that. I think I overly desaturated this area. Let's just add it a little bit back, like so. And it does add a bit of vignette. And it's about a little bit of clarity and overall to the image, which is another like contrast. Like you can do this with Adobe Camera Raw in Photoshop, so you have the same tools. But you know, I just like prefer and doing things in Lightroom. Alright, amigos, that was it. It's pretty quick. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go back to the edit just to fine tune it, but I just wanted to give you a new way of editing things when you strobe a car and how to solve certain challenges or problems that you would face, like the color of the car. So that's it. We've reached the end of this tutorial. I hope that was helpful as usual. Up until the next video, amigos.